Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Eden Wellness Alliance's State of the Association address. We are back. We are back, and I am pleased to be back. It was great on our um, events, but I am pleased to be home, and hopefully, you guys will be able to um, benefit from the information that I gained and a bit more of the information that we got from both the mortar event we went to as well as the doTERRA event or the essential oil event that we went to. Lots of science was at that one, and there was lots of educational stuff at the mortar. So all around a very educational and beneficial trip for those wondering. So we are definitely going to be continuing this. We're finding it to be quite beneficial. Uh, Hopefully, you guys will be able to benefit from it too, these live events. Let me see. First up is usually our events. So let me get those pulled up. And while I do, I will let you guys figure out if there's any questions, comments, or observations that you have. Because we still want to do that. Also, I'd like to mention that we are going to be trying to give you guys the opportunity to give us feedback. We're still doing the question and answer part, but I'm also thinking about doing a switch up in what we do. Instead of just me talking about different things that I've set aside to talk about, we could actually go in and I could look up a different article perhaps to highlight, or we could have guests on in order to give you guys some more information, some more bang for your buck while you're watching. But back to what we were talking about, events coming up. So I do not have any events this weekend. I do know that there's a few things going on, like West Ark Church of Christ is having a Praise and Harmony workshop. It's Autumn Fest at Dayton. Both of those are happening on Saturday. The Church of Christ thing happens from 2 to 4 at the West Ark Church of Christ. The Autumn Fest in Dayton happens at 229 East Highway 252, Huntington, Arkansas. They're going to go from about 5 to 6. I know I'll be at that one, but not as a vendor or anything like that, but as a attendee. Apple Fest is also going on tomorrow and Saturday here locally, if anyone wanted to pop in on that one. We have, it stretches till Sunday. Let me see. Next week, I don't have any events scheduled until October 8th, which is not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. So October 8th, from 10 to 12, we're going to have our event for the 6 essentials, the 6 pillars is what I've got that organized under the name anyway. We're going to be talking about the 6 pillars of health, which are, just to give you a preview, what you eat, drink, exercise, rest, breathe, and think. So we'll talk about those things briefly, talk about recommendations and the best ways to really benefit in those, at least for the most part. We're not going to go into detail because each of them can be covered in their own 2-hour segment. You can talk about the difference in diets in 2 hours. You can talk about it, the way you drink in 2 hours, what you drink and how it affects you. And the same thing goes for all the rest of them. So this is just a one to get you introduced to what the 6 essentials are, what the 6 pillars of health are, and you can take them from there and we can learn from them. And you can voice any kind of questions, comments, or observations you have while you're at the event. So that being said, we are also, let me get back there. Let me go to the next week. October is pretty busy. October 15th, we're basically somewhere every Saturday in October, pretty much. October 15th is going to have Old Miners Day in Huntington, Arkansas. It's supposed to run from about 8 to 11, but we're going to get there on Saturday and we'll get set up. We'll have the mobile office out there. If you haven't seen the mobile office, we've got pictures up on the Facebook page. So I encourage you to go there. We just took it out to another event the other day. And I'm looking forward to getting it stocked up with the different oils and the different supplements that we're using, both from Mortar and from doTERRA. Both of those are excellent companies that you can look into yourself too, or talk to me about. The 22nd, which is that Saturday following, is going to be Boomers and Beyond Health Fair. Is going to happen in K. Rogers Park in Fort Smith, Arkansas. My parents are probably going to be at that one. That's my mom and my dad. They work with me in the business, and they're going to be up there covering that avenue. I will probably be down at an event in Mansfield that's happening. So stay tuned with us on that one. We'll give more details as they come up. Also that week on the 18th is going to be the regular meet and greet that we have at the Egg and I, the monthly meet and greet we have at the Egg and I. It is going to be, our last one went really well. I had to cut out early, unfortunately, to get to another engagement. But this time I won't have to cut out early, it doesn't look like. So we will definitely be able to stay the whole time, and you guys can give us questions, comments, or observations afterwards. It's from about, you can plan to be there at 10:30. It's a good time to plan to be there because you can get your stuff ordered and then we can start up on time, which is right around 11-ish is when we started up last time. And it stretches on until we're done around 1 o'clock or so. Next up, we have, I actually have a Saturday that is not, this does not have an event on it at the moment, on the 29th. So there we go. I may actually get to have a 29th off. Anyway, those are our events that we have. If you have any questions about those or interest in those, you can get with us through Facebook or email. Email is adam.theeden, THEEDN, @gmail.com. Facebook, you just type in The Eden Wellness Alliance and we will pop up. We are, as far as I know, the only The Eden Wellness Alliance on Facebook. But hopefully we will get everything going on that. And that covers our events. So let me close out of that for y'all and get back to where I can see the chat. We don't have anything in the chat yet. So aside from those events, we don't have any particular highlights for anyone. I do want to highlight another business that I know about. It is a CRN business, and they do really good stuff with education and things like that, especially if you've come out of high school and you are getting a little bit older, but you want to learn some more. If you live in the Crawford County area, you can contact Laura at the, not just the Crawford County area, but this whole Van Buren, Fort Smith area. You can contact Laura over at the Adult Education Center. And some people kind of have a negative kind of connotation with that, but it is a great place. That the Adult Education Center offers a lot of classes. Some of them are free and some of them are not. That you get to keep on learning. We've talked before at events that I've had about the importance of continuing to learn. You don't want to stop learning. Humans are not like rocks that can just sit there and do nothing and still be healthy and strong. They're more like plants and trees. Plants never stop growing. If a plant stops growing, it starts dying. There's no real in-between point for plants. They're always growing, always getting stronger or becoming different and increasing their strength and size. If they're not, they're waning. They're withering away. This can be shown just looking at the rings in trees. They don't ever stop getting rings. That's how you tell with a certain amount of accuracy how long they've been alive, is because they've got those extra rings. Well, uh, we want to do the same thing in our mental life. We want to build up those rings of experience. We want to continue to grow mentally. That's a really, really important thing for us to do. Otherwise, we, like the plant, will start to wither. We've heard that old adage when we were in school by our parents or teachers. If you don't use it, you lose it. Well, if you don't use your mind, you will lose your mind. This happens a lot with Alzheimer's patients. They don't get to use their mind as much, so they start to lose it. This is how dementia can easily become Alzheimer's. They're two separate things. So it's important for us to always be growing, always be learning, always have that attitude of the student. And if you want to learn new things, you can check with them and see if they've got anything new for you to learn, or anything you can refresh yourself on. So I encourage you to talk with them. They are great. Laura is a great person. I know her, and she is an excellent person to get to learn from. She probably makes a great teacher. All right. So we don't have any questions for our topic, for our chat today. So we're going to just go on to a topic which we kind of mentioned in the description of this video as it was put up, that we're going to talk about getting back into the swing of things, because that's something that I had to work on when we got back. Everything felt off when we got back because I was gone for 10 days-ish, right around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 or 11 days, depending on how you count it. And that was a long time to be out and about and away from my business. I like my routines. And we're not advocating that you get yourself stuck in a rut, but rather that the routines that you build are positive ones. And using that as a jumping off point, positive routines are going to be what you're wanting to build up. Because when you come back from an event, or when you come back from being away, whether you're away for a weekend or away for almost 2 weeks, when you come back, you want to build in those positive pathways. You do lose a little bit when you go away. You start to fall away from that routine. And by doing that, your routine starts to ease off. And this gives you the opportunity to, when you come back, reinforce the familiar things that are positive in your routine. Maybe you do a walk, or maybe you get up at a certain time that's a good time to get up early. You feel rested, and you've been going to bed at a certain time usually. Well, use that. Use this time of readjustment to let yourself readjust into a positive flow. And that will let you definitely improve your life. It will definitely get you to improve your lifestyle and your lifespan. One of the things that I edited when I came back was doing a bit more, not a vegetable intake necessarily is what we're talking about, but more green intake in the morning, starting off more green and then letting myself have something less green, less alkalizing for lunch and dinner, and then trying to alkalize a bit more before dinner, before bed, and that kind of flow. I'm going to see how it works for me, so you guys will get to see if that helps or hurts or does anything for a change in my health. And I would encourage everyone, all right, I'm encouraging everyone to address a few things in their routines that they don't want, or that they don't like, or that they would like to change. Just pick one of them and look at it. And you can leave it in a comment below, or you can Facebook comment it, or you can send it to me in an email. Doesn't really matter. You can tell me what it is, or however you would like to, and then do some change on it. You just kind of address it a little bit. Start to look at it and how you would like to change it into something different. How you would like to edit that habit that you have into a more positive one. So by doing that, by telling someone, you actually increase your odds of succeeding. It's a proven fact that you can clinically show that when you tell someone that you're going to do something, you are definitely more likely to do it. You are more likely to succeed at your goals when you tell people about them. You don't have to beat them over the brow with it, but when you tell someone, when you write it down yourself and then tell someone, you drastically increase your chances. Several percentage. You increase your chances of being successful. So I encourage you to pick something you want to change. Leave it in a comment to me or send it to somebody that you feel that you can have not really an accountability towards, but kind of like an encouragement from, and say, I want to change this. And then you can say, what do you want to change it into? Tell them what you want to change and what you would rather it be. And then they can, check back with you in about a week and see how you're doing, whether it's me or someone else. I will say, if you leave it on YouTube or on the Facebook, I will make a note to check back with you in 1 week. But this is only going to last until the end of the month, okay? I'm not going to come back to this 6 months later and be like, oh, someone left a comment, I better do that accountability thing. That's something that you got to be a member for. We got to start discussing things if you're going to want to do some long-term work. But you got till the end of the week, technically is the end of the week. You got till the end of the week to put something in the comments or in the Facebook comments, and I will be your accountability for 1 week, and then we can discuss what happens from there. So that's what I have for everyone, a little bit of involvement for you. If you have questions, comments, or observations that you want to have addressed, just let us know. And I believe that's everything for today's event. What we're going to do now is just have a quick bit of scripture to sign us off. It says in Proverbs 3, chapter 8, in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 8, actually beginning at verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. It's important that you keep the focus on those things that have been established as true, because it does make you healthy, seeking Him and doing it rightly. So that is my scripture for the week, scripture set for the week. We will probably continue that. But for now, as always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy.